Hello students. Today we are going to discuss about the different properties of food materials on which the storage of these food material is you know depends, and this is happening because there are certain type of uh, physical properties and another the moisture properties, because of which depending on that we have to see that how these things can be handled in post harvest, whether it is drying, storage, grading, and transportation also. So important properties of the food materials are like the physical properties of the food, that is the shape, size, color, these kind of things, and that comes under the physical properties. The mechanical properties, what is the how the weight of the seed is, how can be handled, what how it can be done. Then there's the thermal properties like the temperature and the moisture things. Then electrical properties, optical properties, as they are on the basis of the sensor or the new kind of equipments which we can use. And the chemical properties, the rheological properties, and hydroscopic properties, depending on the things like how the grain can be stored, whether if they are poor in absorbing moisture, then they can be stored in that way. If it is very high hygroscopic or moisture, they just take up the moisture very quickly, then they has to be kept in that kind of moisture free areas. So coming to the physical properties, this is important in the design of any particular machine and analysis on the behavior of product during process. What is there now, you have to these things are important from this point of view, that when if say if you want to clean the grains. Now if you have, then you should need what proper size mesh. If your of the mesh is very small, that it is not allowing the dirt and the material to pass on, then it will not be clean. Or if it is bigger in size, it may take the grains also, so it is not, then cleaning cannot be done. So this way these properties are helping in understanding that what can be the size and how we can choose what kind of mesh, what kind of grading trays can be taken, so that we can have things in post harvest. Now, shape and size, density and specific gravity of the grains, the volume, the porosity, the surface area, etc., are the physical properties which influence the storage. The importance of these physical properties is necessary for designing the cleaning unit, the grading unit, separating unit, handling units, sorting units, storing units, and the drying systems. Shape is the rigid form of a body, while size is the measurement of its dimensions. So we can have, whether the size is of screen opening, selection of disc, adjustment of cylinder clearance, angle of inclination, vibrations, and I mean these are the machine parts, or these are the decisions which you can take on the basis of the shape and size of the grain. The sphericity or the roundness of the grain is also important, because this will be having the surface area like that, and this is helping in when you are discussing about the big grains, then the volume being affected by particularly these roundness of the grains. The sphericity is the cubic root of volume, that is, and it is on the basis of this we can calculate, and on the basis of that the volume per seed, or you can say per grain, can be calculated, and that can be the ratio with the help of the total grains which are present there. These are different methods of like vernier caliper, or you can S band, and there are many ways to measure the dia of the grain. This is the Vernier calipers, which you can use, must have used in your school classes in your physics practicals. They are used to measure the thickness, or you can say the dia of a spherical grain, or maybe the length or the width of a grain can be measured. The S band can be further, if it is or more smaller in size, then it can be with the thickness can be measured with the help of S bands. The next important characteristics of, you can say, the physical properties is density and specific gravity, and this is, the mass per unit volume, as the density is there, and on the basis of density, we take decisions on the basis of design of silos and bins, then mechanical composition of silage, then separation of crops, sorting and grading, maturity, texture and softness, all this. uh, then this is density and specific gravity is also important, to have, decision on the basis of, uh, you know uh, bulk density, true density, and apparent density. They are important, and they have, on the so that how much the material can be accommodated in a structure. The idea is that if there is a silos is made, then how much silo can be added into that, so that it depend on the density of the silo. Has it been a fluffy, less quantity will be added. If it is a little dense, then more quantity can be added. The specific gravity also has an important role, just like your gravity, so that the things can be added accordingly. So this is, measured with the help of suspension method, by density column method, platform method. I mean, this is, we as we are just in the process of discussion on these physical properties, you have to just have an idea on all these things. We are not going much in physics, but we should know that these are the things there, and they play a very important role in deciding when we are just looking towards, the drying and all these concepts. The relative density also plays a very important role. So you know that what is relative to air or relative to water. So this is the formulas to calculate how to do come up with the relative density. The porosity is the relationship between volume of intergrain space to the total column of grain mass. So this is, the space of air which is being occupied in between the settlement of the grains. You can say, when I'm just trying to make you understand this. For example, this. So this is about the physical properties which affects your these things. Thank you, students.